Hello, and welcome back to Violet's Memoir. That's how you pronounce this title. Let's hope. We are, well, oof, I'm taking a long time to read this introduction, aren't I? Sorry, I'm a slow reader, you know. I don't even look to see the others' reactions as I slide back into my chair.
You look real cute when you blush, dude.
I snapped back to reality by the shameless comment the otter next to me has just spouted.
Maybe you should look more like that and less pouty.
If it was anyone else, I would have assumed they were making fun of him, but there's always this sense of sincerity in his voice. Lucas seems to notice this too, his eyes wide as saucers, and he sits up straight. Wow, his entire body looks like it's prickling up, ears all the way up to his tail. Suddenly, that high-strung image of him is shattered as he slams his head down onto the desk loudly, causing Lily and myself to jump.
So, wait, what? So, what's the topic for the stupid shirt? Shit? For the stupid shit.
Okay. Yes. What?
The project for class. You know, the reason we're fucking wasting our time here. Surely, you didn't forget that already. You're not that dense, right?
He's getting aggressive again. Looks like he lashes out when he's embarrassed too. It's a little cute, honestly. Hard to take seriously when with that look on his face. Though I could do without the massive attention-grabbing commotion. The whole student area got quiet and everyone's looking at us. Lucas seems to notice and wipes his head all around on the table. Okay. A fury look in his eyes. Fiery? Not fury, fiery. Okay.
What?
Lucas yells out to the entire floor. Everyone continues to stare, and I feel myself beginning to sweat under their gaze. It's not like the fox looks much better after that. His ears are twitching constantly and his claws are digging into the table. Even Oscar falters at that, his smile shrinking down to just a small nervous smirk. I don't think things went as planned.
Hey man, I didn't mean anything, but...
A glare from the fox shuts Oscar up. It's a mixture of annoyance and a bit of fear. After a few seconds of silence, Lucas relents and sits back in his chair, though it looks more like he's trying to crush himself into it. I take back what I said about barely being able to see his blush before, and now it looks like it's changing the fur color around his muzzle. It's so intense. His ears look like they've been painted red on the sides. A heavy mood weighs down on our group. It's hard to know where to even go after that.
Maybe we should discuss the project.
Everyone turns to him like he's insane. He doesn't falter for a second.
How about we do the thing we're supposed to work on? It's been an hour and we've been done nothing.
Right, sorry. Things just got a little out of hand. She sits up straighter and her hands are constantly moving as she talks. I don't think her gestures don't mean anything. Okay, anything in particular. She's just very excitable from what I've gathered. It doesn't hurt to be enthusiastic, in fact. I think her enthusiasm is exactly what we need.
So, what exactly is this group project on? He should know. Wait, he said some of us know. Did only some of us get the memo, or...?
It's on the online guide to the class. Barely anyone checks it, though, so he's just going over it tomorrow, probably. I didn't get any kind of email about that.
It's not emailed. There's a student database you can log into, which has a bunch of information for your classes on it, as well as your schedule and grades.
Oh, that. I didn't know it had information for the classes themselves. Don't worry, most of us are freshmen here, so it's not expected that we'll know much about it.
I'm a senior.
Oscar sounds smug and leans back in his chair, swinging backwards on it. In fact, he's swinging back way too far. I'm about to stop him. I'm about to stop him when I see he's supporting himself with his tail. I know otters' tails were strong, but I didn't think they were that strong.
And you're taking a basic first year class? Isn't that kind of sad? Oh yeah, I never did all of my general classes, and this one seemed pretty fun. I thought we were gonna just be watching movies and shit though. We're not in high school anymore. So, the subject for the project.
Lele. Lele sounds like he's getting actually annoyed at this point. It's not super obvious, but there's a frustrated sigh under his breath. Right. So since this class is about communication of information through media, we're doing a group project on presenting information about sensitive topics. He wants us to pick a tragic event from last year and do a tasteful presentation of what happened, the effects the media had on the events, and its perception by the public. And lastly, how the media could have handled it better.
Sounds tedious. Also, should university students really be judging whether or not the media could have handled the situation better? We're not exactly experienced.
Even professionals can completely fail at their jobs sometimes.
Now that's a little mean, ain't it? Everyone makes mistakes. No need to blow up at them, right?
Right, sorry. That came out a little harsher than I intended. Everything seems to make sense so far, though there's one thing I am curious about. So, why only from last year? It mentioned that anything older than that is no longer considered a sensitive.
What about this year?
Well, he said it would fit, but it might be a bit tasteless doing it that close to the event. He's rather restrict to having. He'd rather restrict it to having at least some amount of time passed.
Should have just let us do our presentation on an older event. Surely he couldn't expect a class filled with mostly late teenagers to be tactful.
I'm assuming that's what the Wednesday classes are for, so he can help us out.
I guess.
Looking over to the fox, he seems rather fidgety, really fidgety. It's not like yesterday, where he looked really upset. He looks really, really nervous. Everything okay?
Yeah, sorry. I hadn't done a group project or presentation for a long time. How long? I love doing group stuff. Presenting, not so much. Don't get me wrong, I love the attention. Just not the talking about school stuff part. The group stuff itself is really fun. Get to hang out with all the bros. And gals, too.
He gives Lily a nod. It's almost sickeningly cheesy, but she seems to enjoy it. She has this bright smile on her face and giggles a bit too. In a group of boys, it takes this long for me to get some attention. Looks like college guys really are more mature. How long is a long time? It normally happens right when they, no, I'm meaning for Lucas's group presentation. Oh. For a second, I worry I might have made her upset, but when I look at her, she's got a bit of a smile on her face, and she's silently giggling. I glance over at Lucas, and he's squirming in his seat uncomfortably, trying to avoid looking at any of us.
6 if we don't count this year.
Wait, you haven't done one since middle school?
Yeah.
How?
I got homeschooled for most of high school.
Oh, that explains a lot. What about the rest of college? You don't exactly seem like a freshman.
I just avoided classes which had them. But not this one.
Yeah, Lele's deep voice startles me. He's not too quiet for a guy of his presence. He's got a rather curious look on his face, and it's only now I notice he's got a book in front of him, open and jotting down the information for the presentation so far. The only other person with anything is Oscar, and he hasn't touched them since I arrived. No one else has anything with them, not even Lily, who organized it. He's very dedicated. I can't help but wonder if he and Lucas switched personalities at birth.
This was more of a last-minute decision. I just wanted a gen ed class that'll increase my GPA. I don't think a communications class would have had a presentation or required attendance. None of my other classes have had required attendance.
Yeah, classes with group projects kinda have to, or else it screws everyone else over, you know? Lucas deflates and flops down onto the table at that, his chin resting on his arms. At least he's calmed down. He's a lot more talkative than I expected. I mean, he was always standoffish, but he gives me the vibe that he wouldn't talk much in a group. Then again, he is only complaining, and he's been doing that from the start. And we're pressuring him. In actuality, I'm just surprised at how expressive he is. So what exactly are we doing on our project on? Well, that's what I was hoping we could decide on. Today, I mean. Might give us a head start for tomorrow.
Did you have any ideas where we'd start? I'm all for jumping on this. Don't get me wrong. I'm just not gonna be a lot of help. I'm not much for watching things that'll kill my vibe.
Yeah, I don't avoid news to that degree, but I will admit, I can't remember much from last year. I look over at Lele, the others joining me as well, but he only gives us a shake of his head.
Well, that's all. There's all the shooting. There's an easy topic.
There's all the shootings, okay. They're an easy, okay. Yeah, maybe.
I don't know about that one, bro.
Yeah, that's a little too morbid for me. With kids, it's just too sad.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, for more local stuff, there's those German tourist twins who drowned in the lake outside the city. That mother of 3 who died in that big pileup on the highway. The Lawson girls' murder-suicide. That massive scandal where that rich guy, Gregory, something, was found to be abusing his wife and kids. Something in there catches my attention, I straighten up my posture. That's rather dark. You sure know a lot about this. My parents made me watch the news every night where I lived, with them and whatever I visited. These are just the memorable ones from the summer break.
Sorry, but what's this about a Lawson girl?
You don't know? You don't know, man? Even I know about this one.
Yeah, it was pretty big. I shake my head.
I'm not familiar either. So, a student who was going here for a while suddenly just killed a bunch of her friends. After she got arrested, she killed herself in jail before the night was over. I think I even ran into the guy who died at some point. He was on the football team, but he used the gym here instead of the one near the football field. Yeah, it was my sophomore year here. It was all over the news. My apartment building got locked down and everyone was questioned. Apparently, she lived there.
Your apartment?
Yeah, Unipledge. It's a bit up from the campus or on Lord Road.
Oh, that's where I'm staying.
Really? We must have missed each other. I bolted home as soon as I cleaned up.
So she was staying at Unipledge. That definitely makes me feel uneasy. One coincidence was enough, but 2 is definitely suspicious. Well, time to read the entire diary tonight. I know I would. I'm a nosy bitch. Not actually, but I mean, I have it. Might as well. Was her name Helena Lawson by any chance?
Yeah, did you know her?
I think she lived in my room. I found her diary there. Ears across the table perk up at that. Everyone but Lele is leaning forward with more interest now. The possum just looks more confused at all the excitement. Seriously? The police would have taken it, right? For evidence?
Where was it?
It was hidden under the nightstand. I guess they didn't check under the bottom drawer.
How did you find out it was, wait, how did you find it under the bottom drawer?
His eyes keep flickering between me and the others, likely still confused at their enthusiasm, but he's at least joining the conversation again. I went to put my stuff in it, and it got stuck. I ended up pulling the whole thing out by accident.
Wrecking property on the first day. Maybe you belong in a frat. I can try and pull some strings to get you into mine.
The look on his face is full of enthusiasm, and that big grin is back on his face. It's very out of place for this morbid topic, but I think he's just a natural smiler. Even though the offer is a little tempting, I know his intentions aren't entirely pure. At least I think they aren't. Damn, I'm confusing myself now. I didn't break anything. It went back in fine. But I did find her diary. Do you have it on you? Right now, I mean. No, it's on my desk in my apartment. I didn't think I'd need it. Oh, no, don't feel bad. I didn't mean to make you feel bad. Just thought it would be cool if you did. Bring it on Wednesday. It seems like the topic for us.
Wouldn't the police want it? I don't want to spoil you kids' fun, but isn't that evidence in a murder? Aren't you a freshman? Pretty sure I'm older than you. Not that I dislike a nickname. I can call you Smiley if you want instead. The kids was more for them anyway.
Lele gestures towards Lucas and myself. The fox ignores him and gives a reply to his initial question.
They shut the case. They found a motive and all of the information they needed for her, and with her dead, there wasn't much need to collect more.
That's a fairly cold way to talk about it.
What? That she's dead? She killed 3 people. Hard to have sympathy for her. I'd be more likely to sympathize with the dumpster behind my apartment.
This seems like a pretty silly thing to be getting an argument over. How about we rest up on this. Looks like we got an idea down, and we even got a first-hand account for the kill from someone involved. There's a gloomy look on her, and sadness in her eyes. I understand Lucas having no sympathy for her, but she was a person too, wasn't she?
Aw, I was hoping this could go longer. It didn't really hang out much.
Well, I did plan for us to get some food afterwards. That offer is still on to the table if you want to.
Hell yeah! We're all in, let's go!
Wait, meathead. You don't get to decide for all of us.
Well, are there any objections from the crowd?
Oscar doesn't seem willing to wait, though. He's already getting up and stretching, which makes me conscious of how long I've been sitting down for, too. What, like 5 minutes?
Fine by me. I got a few hours before my sister will be home from school.
Oscar is looking at me expectantly. His deep blue eyes stand out on his dark fur. They're shimmering with so much excitement, it's infectious. Yeah, sure. I think it'll be fun, right? We all look towards Lucas. He's fidgeting with his ears nervously, and I can see Lily giggling next to him. She's definitely reveling in the show.
Fine. Sure. Whatever. Just no, we're too busy, please.
His voice cracks at the end, a blush beginning to seep through his fur again. Our eyes meet, and he quickly looks away towards the wall, a pout on his face. It's so silly and adorable, I wouldn't be able to stop myself from smiling even if I wanted to.
Yes, don't worry. I know a cute little place we can go to. Come on!
He looks like he's about to drag the rest of us out, so I quickly slip out from my chair and as well. Lucas and Lily take a few seconds more to follow. I'm feeling a little unsure about about leaving the topic of the diary so soon. There's still stuff I wanted to talk about, but it doesn't seem like the time for it anymore. I shouldn't stress. There's no rush. We can talk about it in class tomorrow. All right. I'll end the part here, everyone. So I'll see you around.